Hello everyone, fans of the NBBA and Beat Baseball. Welcome again for another broadcast. This is the third place game between the Austin Blackhawks and the San Antonio Jets. The winner of this game gets an opportunity to play for the championship tomorrow. The loser will receive third place in the 2021 Beat Baseball World Series. We are coming to you live from the South Lakes Soccer facility in Wichita, Kansas. This is hosted by
Visit
Wichita, yep, and and it's presented by our friends from InVision. So this is going to be an exciting broadcast. Matt Wallace, along with Rosina Foster and Kalari Gerkley, player of the game for the women of our league. Welcome to the broadcast. This is going to be an exciting game.
Yes, it is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. Mike Woodard will be our umpire today, with Missy as our scorekeeper and Deb as our base controller. It is Friday. It's been a long week. It's still blistering hot out. Earlier we had the coin toss, and it appears that the Blackhawks have won the coin toss, so they will probably be our home team. Just getting everything set up for our teams to take the field and get ready for what is sure to be an interesting game. Do you have any early predictions, Kalari?
I think I'm not sure. I think it's going to be a very defensive game, and I don't want to say I don't know. I don't really want to scare. I don't even want to.
Matt, what do you think?
Well, based upon yesterday's 20-1 result by the San Antonio Jets, and based on the fact that they are coming off of a 12-10 loss to the Indy Thunder, I think they're going to come out swinging, and I think they're going to take care of business in this one. Not 20-1 maybe, but
no,
I think they're going to take care of business.
I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but
yeah,
maybe
I totally
Jets
feel
edging them out. But it's going to be based on the pitchers. Let's see which pitchers come out hot.
Yeah, we definitely have.
These fields are very defensive fields, so they're slow.
Well, how did the Austin Blackhawks get here today? Because they came in yesterday pretty behind the eight ball after yesterday. Well, they came in today, beat the New Jersey Titans without key player Zach Turner, but they were able to get the 10-8 win, and then against the Indy Edge with a two-run bottom of the sixth inning to erase a 9-8 deficit. They walked them off 10-9 to push the Edge down to fourth place. The Titans are fifth, and as further rankings come in, I think the rankings are in from 5 to 19. I was going over them a little bit before the game, but the rankings are in. I know the Titans finished fifth, and the Chicago Comets finished seventh.
Atlanta's eighth.
Yep.
I think U.S. Legends are 9.
They finished 11th. The Indy Extreme finished 6th. So they were the team that finished directly behind the Titans. The Long Island Bombers, good on them, finishing in the top 10, number 10 this year. So really good tournament for them.
Yes.
Philadelphia Fire, team I broadcast for, they finished 15th, so good on them. The Braille Bandits finished 19th, Wichita 18. So, Bayou City Heat, a little bit of a rough tournament for them. They wound up coming in, I believe it was 13th. So, as I remember more
is more. Not happened in years. Not since I've been in the league in 20 years.
Yeah, Fonzie, definitely the game that we did, Rosina, he had the contact going. Speed, a little bit of a struggle for Houston, but number 17, I believe that was the Lone Star Roadrunner. So the more we remember, the more that we'll fill in as the broadcast goes on there.
So we do have the Blackhawks have taken the field. They're all set and ready to go. You could hear them having their count off earlier. So Jets up at bat, and we're going to have Zach is going to be up at bat first.
Yes.
Then a power hitter.
Zach is a great friend of mine. He's a great trainer. I always go to him and ask for fitness tips.
He's been scooping up defense like crazy all week.
Yeah, he had quite the game.
Yes, he did.
Against the Indy Thunder, going 4 for 5 at the plate, but also having 12 putouts. His specialty defense. No runs against the Edge scored when they did the Edge versus Jets game yesterday, but still in that game 5 putouts. So defense always a part of his game.
Yeah.
Big storyline of this game: Kevin Simpson, ex-pitcher for the Austin Blackhawks, now pitcher for the Jets. He's won 7 championships for the Austin Blackhawks over his career. So we're all set to go, top of the first.
And also very emotional for him as he's retiring after this year.
He's the greatest pitcher ever, Kevin Simpson. A guy that's all into b-ball. You will think you come into the league and you will think no one notice you, but he'll walk up to you, hey, Kalari, right? And he'll start saying how many outs you got. He's amazing.
Keeps track of everything.
He's excellent, and it's going to be sad to see him retire.
Well, hopefully, as he is still planning on being involved, maybe he can pass on some of that devotedness to others, and we're getting ready, doing our base checks currently.
So for those of you who are unaware, just tuning in, think of beat baseball. You think of Major League Baseball in the 9s, think of beat baseball in the 6s. 6 innings, 6 on 6. We'll go over more rules during the game.
So that's going to be a near miss for Zach as he slides his bat under that by about 2 inches.
4 strikes and you're out. 1 take per batter. The pitcher is on your team, in case, for those of you.
And Kevin does not really have his players take balls.
We have seen that.
Yes.
In fact, I'll get to it after this pitch.
Oh, that's a narrow miss. There was maybe a quarter of an inch between the ball and the bat on
Rosina,
that.
do you remember the game yesterday when there was an accidental pitch taken, the first batter of the game, and they freaked out?
He was very frustrated till he realized that the sound had quit on the ball just as it came over the plate.
2 strikes.
A hard pop-up hit. It's going past over into center field deep. Must have been about 75 feet up there running for the ball, but that's going to be too late, and he is safe at first base. That is going to be the first run for this game, going to Zach for the Jets.
Piece of 2-strike hitting there by Zach Arambula. He actually didn't score in his first at-bat against the Thunder, so he scored in his last 4. So that's 5 consecutive at-bats that have produced a run for him. He gives the Jets an early 1-0 lead, but if you don't make the play perfectly on him, he's got the speed to burn, and he was at the base quickly.
Extremely fast.
So as we move on up to David Smith up at bat.
David Smith.
Looking to have a different game. He went 2 for 5 against the Thunder, which was decent in and of itself, but not really 4 of those 5 balls were short. One of them got past Eric Rodriguez, but there was only 1 ball that was really hard hit off the bat by David Smith, like he wants to hit it.
A high pop-up ball that's going to be along left field, and it is going to be fair. And he is out. He did not make it. That must have been a good 90 feet up in the air, but he did not make that in time. And that is trying to...
Danny, I think.
That was
there.
Danny Fabiano.
Danny Fabiano
Another
on the left
legend in the
side.
game.
Great pickup.
I think he's number 4. 4, Danny with a put
A
out.
living Hall of Famer.
Great pickup, Dave Smith. I just talked about he didn't get that sweet swing off the bat. Well, he got it there, and you have to be in the right place. You have to be positionally sound, and you have to pick it up right away. And he did all those things for the first out of this game.
So we have Axel Cox up now with his green hair. Hard line drive, barely missed Kevin as it goes over to center to right field. They're crawling after it, but he is safe. They are on the ball, had their fingers on it, but just could not quite get it up in the air as Axel makes it to first base.
What makes this team so good is they have everything. They have the power, they have the speed, and there was nothing really Austin could do on there. They tried to make the defensive play as quickly as they can. Just too hard hit, too fast, simple,
Exactly.
2-0.
You can hear the direction from Kevin out there with his batter, giving instructions on for setting up. And as we have Aaron coming up to bat in his
Aaron Almanza.
lovely green outfit with his Green Bay Packers socks and dark, bright green cleats. Totally there with his colors for his team. A lot of team spirit.
Yeah, he doesn't care if his fellow Aaron winds up back in Green Bay or not. He's still gonna be supporting his Green Bay Packers.
Go Pack Go. I'm a big Packers fan, and that's like a sin to be from Chicago.
Ooh,
Yes.
spicy.
Ready for the pitch. Oh, almost a tick on that ball. It was so close.
You could hear that bat go through the zone. 1 out, top 1.
Oh, this time he's sliding just underneath the ball by about 1.5 inches.
Little grunt that time, a little frustrated with himself on that swing. 2 strikes, no pass yet. Probably won't see
Oh,
one.
right over the top of that by about 1 inch. You can hear the chanting over there from the Blackhawks bench.
Yeah, the Blackhawks are pretty chanty.
Oh,
Just
tipping
got a
the
piece of
top
that.
of that
There.
ball.
Yeah, the Blackhawks, they have a lot of different sayings and funny cheers. It's kind of funny to hear them on defense. I love it.
You got Kevin instructing the batter again and positioning. And the catcher to keep his glove set. And another tip off where it pops back up to the catcher.
It's coming.
Hanging in there, yep.
Tapping his bat up on home plate
got
as he
one more
pulls
chance.
back up. Oh, but no, he is out. But he slid under that by about 2 inches.
Wow.
Strike 4, and we only saw 2 strikeouts by Kevin Simpson in the Thunder game, so already 1 here. That's very shocking. Only saw,
Yes.
I believe, 4 against the Edge, so very, very minimal strikeout guy.
Yeah.
Strikeout here in the first inning.
He's a
2 outs.
perfection pitcher.
And as Aaron walked off the field, Kevin was over talking with him and kind of giving him some corrections on possibly what they were doing, giving him a pat on the back. So we move up to Ricky, coming up to bat. Ruzica.
Ricky Ruzica, we saw him have a couple of very good defensive putouts in the game against the Legend, or against the Thunder. I'll get it right eventually.
And a swing over that ball by about 2 inches. And I always like to mention the stance on some of these unusual batters, Matt. He kind of has his left leg on a straight pitch out in front of him right before his swing.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. That's cool to get it described like that. That's fun.
So
Just sliding
wow.
under that pitch.
That's interesting.
2 strikes on the batter.
2 strikes.
2 outs in the inning. 2 runs in.
Oh, and just sliding over that. You know the Jets have
Yes.
got to be itching to hurry up and
If
knock
Austin,
one out of there.
if Austin is going to hang in this game, definitely Kevin Simpson striking guys out is going to help.
Oh,
On
he
a
found
tip
it.
off of the top of that ball as it drops down
Yes.
to the catcher's feet.
Uh-oh, sound like the ball has changed, slowing down there. Oh,
Oh, that time sliding over the top of it, and that is going to make the outs as we change positions. It
All
is
right.
2-0.
So we go to the bottom of the first. 2 runs
all
for
right.
the Jets, and you got to be thinking if you're Austin that you caught a little bit of a break there. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I'm thinking now's the time to go. We got to put some runs up right now.
And you hear Austin, you just talked about their
They're
this little chanting. and
Right.
they're,
That's Austin. But yeah, I'm thinking now I got to put runs up.
absolutely, and you've
The
won
advantage
the
is
coin toss.
I'm home.
You're home, you've won the coin toss,
Right.
you're in the bottom of the first, and you're only facing a 2-run deficit. You only scored 1 run against this Jets team yesterday, so obviously from a defensive standpoint, you need to run.
Absolutely. And it has to be in the air.
Yes.
We have the Jets on their way, making their way out into the field. It looks like most of them are in place, except for Axel as he floats across in his casual little floating walk there out towards center field. His green socks and his green hair and his devil-may-care seeming attitude. I'm sure he does care, and I'm sure he tries. He gives it all he has, but he kind of gives off that suave, everything is going to be fine kind of attitude.
Oh, yes.
He
He's
gives
very
carrying a
confident
shot.
in himself.
His first up for bat for the Blackhawks is going to be Brandon Chesser, who was wearing our flag cape earlier in the week for us to do the national anthem. With his unusual sleep shades, he has some kind of a face painted across each of the eyes. It's a black mask, and he has like some wicked little white eyes kind of painted on there. And he's got his bright socks on. It looks like they have the Tasmanian Devil, if I'm not mistaken, on him.
I think those are his good luck socks.
Don't wash those, Brandon. High pop up. It's going to go between center and right field. It must have been 80 feet in the air. And no, he is going to be safe. They were about
That ball
2 seconds late.
Ball hung in the air at least 3-4 seconds.
You just talked about the importance of popping it up,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what happened on that first pitch, and speed to the base. And you can already tell this Austin Blackhawks team is not the same team you saw yesterday, losing 20-1. They are here to play. They're
They
here
are
to
here.
compete.
That was a miss for
Really?
David Smith
Yeah.
out there.
That's a good way of putting it. They are here.
They're here. They're here to battle it out. They're here to play.
So now we have a 2-1 game. Still no
2-1.
outs.
I believe our next batter, I think, is Michael Finn, but I'll just double check here. As we're just casually waiting, the ump's checking out our positioning on first base and the measurements probably for the foul line over here and repositioning of the base after it got completely tackled there earlier by Brandon.
This is Austin Blackhawks 2 for 2 today already. 10 runs against the Edge, 10 runs against Titans. Two good teams, two really good teams.
Yes, this is
Austin
definitely
Blackhawks are
Michael
here
Finn.
to play. We beat them earlier this year in our round robin.
The Chicago Comets.
Slid
Yes.
right over the top of that ball. So he's readjusting at home plate.
Ultimately finished 7th in the World Series this year,
Yes.
so a good year for Chicago.
Good year. We stayed healthy.
One strike.
Oh,
and
sliding right under that by about 2 inches.
Held steady at 7.
And a line drive
Foul ball.
that is
Oh.
way down
Whew.
outside of the first
Timbo's
base.
out. You
About
see
30
that foul
feet.
is up. That foul
Yep.
has an air ball, so he's trying to go up.
3 strikes,
Air is
however.
There's the golden key
Yes,
here.
sir.
Give you as much time as possible before
Exactly.
those fielders can find that ball. A lot of talk there between the pitcher. Again, another pop-up right over the pitcher's head into center field. It's past the first line of defense, and they're crawling in. Oh, that was another near miss for Axel Cox. He had his hands on the ball and could not get it in the air.
So Michael Finn ties the game at 2 on a good piece of 3-strike hitting. I always think that 3 strikes can be the most pressure-packed moments to swing. You got to stay within yourself in those moments and not try to do much. Knowing you got 1 swing left, he popped it. And shocking for the Jets here, 2 for 2 as far as runs scored
Yes.
defensively against.
The Jets look a little shaky on defense.
A little
right now.
rattled maybe. Nobody out still.
Number 4, Danny Fapiano, up at bat, wearing a red and black head covering, try to protect his head. That was a little bit on the outside, and he held that and passed.
He took a pitch. Okay. Ball's dying.
We have a time asking for a new ball. It is starting to sound a little bit warbly.
Yeah.
Explaining that is why I took it. I wasn't hitting that ball. It's not loud enough.
Hey, if you give me the reason why I did something unorthodox, I'll just go with it. Yep, that's why I did it. 2-2, bottom 1.
2-2, bottom
Still
1.
nobody
This is
out.
going to be a good one. It's about who's hungry here.
Austin has scored more runs against the Jets in this game with nobody out in the first inning than they did in 18 outs yesterday. That's baseball.
Yep. No, that's beat ball.
Deep ball, yep.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know the heat is starting to play on everybody after they've been out here all week.
Yeah.
Speaking of that heat, we do want to thank our volunteers who do all the running.
Absolutely.
High
Scorekeepers.
pop-up just barely over the pitcher's head, and that will be foul. Did not make it to the 40-foot line.
Wow.
Still had the pop on it. Yep. You just heard the Austin players are excited. You got some good hang time on that. Keep that going.
Yeah, it keeps them alive and in the game.
2 strikes. Sorry,
Back
1
up.
strike. 1 strike, 1 take. 1-1.
That's right, 11.
Adjusting with first base down again. It looks like that
Oh.
finally getting a little bit of a breeze might be affecting how this base wants to stay put.
Oh, wow.
And ready for the pitch. Oh, it's a little on the inside, and it pops right up above him,
All
straight
right.
into the
Timmy is
catcher's
definitely
glove.
on it.
He's on him now.
He's on him.
2 strikes, 1 take, so he's going to be coming out regardless.
12 count.
Oh, again, that was just a touch on the inside edge of his bat and a little low.
For those of you who don't know, the beat baseball rules, 170 to hit a home run, it has to be over 170 feet in the air. Fair.
Absolutely.
And that'll be 2 runs for your player who hits that. If you
And a solid little
ground.
grounder
On the ground.
on left field, picked right up by Zach, of course. Anything over there, Zach is going to pick
Yeah,
up, and you are not going anywhere.
So as Fapiano's out, he also made a put out in the last half of an inning, so he's making contact here. First out for the Jets. They have to feel a little sense of relief.
We have Steve Purrier up at bat.
Ooh, that
He's doing a
ball
little
is about
twist
to-
with his hips
That
there.
ball is dying.
Yeah, they're going to have to
Oh,
get a
that
new
ball
one
is
in very shortly.
definitely. Seem to be going through quite a few balls here in these last 2 games.
Yeah, in the bottom of the 6th of the Thunder Jets game, I think they had like
think we went through
4
7.
or 5.
Yeah, these are the new Fonzie balls.
Yeah, I question whether the next World Series they'll be using them. We shall see.
Yeah, we'll see. I played with them, and I don't really have a problem with them. The only thing I had, like, I did lose track of them in the air for a little bit.
Yeah.
Blackhawk is a higher pitch.
It really depends on who you talk to. It's a lot of mixed emotions with the Fonzie
Hear the
balls.
chanting from the Jets over there.
Some people, it seems like, have your attitude, Kalari, of where, yeah, it's hard to hear in the air sometimes, but in general, you know, it's fine.
Right.
And some people are just like, it's hard to hear in the air, and it's new, and I hate change, and I don't want anything to do with that. So, you know, but then you have some that are like, hey, they're better than the Denver balls. So it'll be interesting to see. But they've definitely been going through them a little quick.
Yeah.
Steve back up ready. He's digging his cleats in at home plate. Look at our base check.
I don't know too much about Steve, just that he's been with Austin for several years.
A couple easy swings from the wrist.
Fourth place hitter.
Ooh,
And just a bare
Sound like a
slide.
tip.
It almost was a
right.
tip.
It sounded like I heard us too.
Austin, a perennial favorite in these World Series to do top 5 for years and years.
Oh, and that one's going to be fouled right over straight to the Jets bench.
I'm not sure when their last title was. It's I believe 2014 was Austin's last title. Because the Thunder have won since 2016. 2 strikes on the
Swinging the bat. Oh, and a near miss as he slid right over the top of that ball.
It's clear cadence by the Austin
Pitcher
pitcher.
just relaxing as he takes a deep breath. Gets his grip on his bat. And that's going to be a solid grounder. Almost hit the pitcher right in center field. Past Ricky. And he is out.
Bang, bang
And that
there.
is going to be...
Who made that play? Was that
I
Axel?
believe that was Zach who
Zach.
ran all the way over there. Yes, that was. It was Zach again. Came all the way over from his place on left to center field to snag that up. But he did have Axel right behind him on the ground, ready to back him up.
Yeah, but if he had been ready to back him up, it'd be 3-2 Austin right now because he was a fraction of a second from the base. So there was no time. He was either him or nobody to make that play.
Yeah, absolutely. When that ball's on it.
That ball is sounding like it's about ready to die.
So we're talking about these Fonzie balls, you know,
Yes.
maybe.
You get a solid beep, beep, and when it goes to beep, beep, you know, it's not
So
going to
I
make it.
predict, I'm going to say this on air. I predict they're going to be using Denver balls for the championship game.
You think that-
Okay.
Yeah, I
As
do.
long as we have enough in store. Could start off with them.
Yeah, I do think.
The Jets go digging in, and we end up with a 2-game play tomorrow. And have to see how many we have.
2-2 here, bottom 1, 2 out.
High pop up right into center field again, past Ricky, out into the last line. That was Axel rushing. He's grabbing, fumbling around for it, and did not get it. Did not get it in time. You can see the anger
Ooh, you see that?
on his face
his
as he
face.
kind of tosses the ball back up toward the pitcher. He's very frustrated there.
Yeah, and that's the second kind of tough defensive
That
play
was
for him in this
Mariano
inning.
Mariano, yes.
with the score there for the Blackhawks, and they take the lead 3-2.
3-2.
It's tough for Zach Arambla to make a play when you hit it over him.
Oh, yeah, that's impossible, right? Hit it over him.
And that's what Austin's done. They've had
Yeah.
great hang time.
But like I said, the air is the key here. The air, being in the air is the key. You can't have a grounder on this field.
We have Darius Sterling up at bat.
This will round out
With
the
his
Austin order.
bright orange cleats. Oh, and a little high on that.
Okay.
He was about 3 inches over the ball.
Darius is one of, I believe, the fastest Blackhawk on the team. So a great 6-man.
Oh, again, just over the top of that ball by about still 3 inches.
2 strikes, and if he puts the ball in play, unless it's Zach Arambla, we've seen some shakiness from the Jets in this first inning.
For the defense, absolutely. Oh, again, still about 3 inches right over the top of that ball. Standing back at home plate, readjusting and getting his measurement. And the pitcher telling him just to take a pass and let it go.
That's what he does.
That's going to be the tape.
Okay.
It's time to take a deep breath, get your mental head on, and ready to go.
It's a pressure situation.
Yes, it is.
Oh, Val tipped
Tipped that one right down. He
So
caught
there
the
it
top
is.
of it.
Yep. They found it.
It says a full cup. 1-3. 2 outs.
And a solid hit. Pops down on the ground. Almost hit that, but there it is. Little Ricky
Ugh.
snags it right up, and he is out. Popped into his knees, pulled it into his body, and you have it. That's an out.
No matter how fast you are, you're going to have to really outrun that one. That was
And
just a
that
shot
was
right to him.
pretty much dead. Like, with this field, it's, yeah.
Nah, that
Ricky
was almost
Castaneda
right
was
to
able
him.
Yep. So a 3-run bottom of the first. We will turn this story over to the second inning. It is the Austin Blackhawks 3 and the Jets 2. So at least very, very early on, Austin's showing
As they
we're
say.
here.
Taking a lead.
We are here. We are not going to be the team that was your doormat yesterday.
Exactly.
So turning things over to the
Hey, Clary, it's Missy.
top of the second.
Bringing up a solid breeze here today. The strongest breeze I think we've had all week. I sure hope that it stays.
Absolutely.
Look at you, always
I
marketing.
would agree wholeheartedly with that. I've been trying to remember who rounded out the top. We've been going over the World Series rankings. The Gateway Archers, I'm sorry, they were the 9th ranked team, so they finished number 9.
Oh, they finished ninth.
They
Okay.
ninth. They finished 9th. The Bomber finished 10th. The Comets 7. Extreme 6. Titans 5. Who was 8th? Kalari?
That was a chaos.
Chaos.
Chaos,
Was 8th.
Atlanta Chaos.
Sorry, I should have asked the actual Rosina, who is the streamer and volunteer for the chaos, right? And then the top 4 is yet to be determined.
No, 4.
Well, 4 is
gonna
Edge.
be Edge.
Right.
Third place haven't been determined.
And that's going to be determined after this game.
After this game. Absolutely.
Got a little repositioning out there by the spotters out in the field with the defense. And thank you to all those spotters and again all the volunteers who do help make this possible. Would not work without you. All your dedication to being out here all week in this heat, game after game after game.
I don't know how they do it. It's a thankless job in a lot of situations. But let's see what the Jets got now. They're down 3-2.
We got
They
little
6-1-2.
Ricky up at bat.
Yep.
Kevin coming up to the pitcher's mound.
And Rosina, he struck out to end that Thunder game. He was really hard on himself. He was, a young player trying to. Let's see what he does here.
High pop up hard into left field, past Darius. Oh, running out, and oh wait, we have a safe. He's
Who
out.
made
Oh,
that play? Was that?
let's see. Trying to get a guarantee because he started to call it safe, then set out.
Well, he said it's up. He's out. That was
Gotcha.
very,
Okay, so it
very,
is
very
counting
close.
as an out. Let's trying to get who got that. Do you have the number on that? Who had the put out? Okay.
Oh,
So that
yes,
was
sir.
Brandon.
That's his first
Brandon
put
for the
out.
put out
Captain Beatball. That's
with
his
his
nickname. He
funky
loves
eye masks
Castaneda was
and
ready
his
to go.
cape.
and his cape.
He hit the first pitch as hard. He was ready to go. He was trying to make amends for that, that last strikeout to end the game. He was totally on Kevin Simpson. Just a better defensive play, a fraction of a second before he reached the base.
Yeah.
Back to the top of the order now. Here we
That
go,
was
Zach.
Zach ready for the pitch.
1 for 1.
Hard pop up over into right field. It's going to be right on. And it is going to be foul about 5 feet in front of first
All right.
base.
He's trying to go to first. Okay.
Perfect landing. Just wish it would have bounced the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
foul.
takes a deep breath as he sighs and walks back towards home. Mike Woodard giving him a pat on the back as he comes back up.
Mike Woodard, the umpire for this game.
Yes.
The man in blue.
Top second, 1 out. 3-2 Austin.
Setting back up. And, it appears to me that home plate has shifted again. It seems to have been the trend all week.
Really.
Zach stepping back off the plate just a little. Takes a deep breath and swings the bat. And he's ready for the pitch.
All right.
Hard pop up. That is going to be about 80 feet up and about 20 feet out of the third base.
Oh,
So
wow.
another
So,
foul.
Yes, definitely.
He sprayed it one way, and then he sprayed it the other way, and
You
they're
don't know
both foul.
which way he's coming.
Nope.
He's not sure which pocket he's trying to hit.
And again, we're coming to you live from the South Lakes Soccer Complex in Wichita, Kansas. This is hosted by Visit Wichita and presented by our good friends at Envision. 2 strikes on the hitter.
I think at this point, he might take anything. Maybe we'll see it go to center.
Yeah.
That would. And Kevin Simpson's such a good pitcher. He can position how he wants.
Oh, and he slid right over the top of that by about an inch. It was a great level swing.
3 strikes on the hitter. You wonder if Kevin may be trying to do too much after that loss, trying to get to that championship
Oh, and that
game
one was
because
just a
there's
little
another
low.
strikeout.
That is going to be out.
Yeah.
You know, that's 3 strikeouts already. That's you just simply don't see that.
No, not from him.
You know, I mean, you're seeing things that you haven't seen. You know, the Jets are shaky defensively right now. Kevin Simpson struck out 3 batters. They're trailing 3-2 to a team that they beat 20-1 yesterday.
Yeah,
It
it's
seems
hard to keep beating the same team, though. I would say that. And it could be coming off of that emotional loss.
That loss.
Yeah.
And, being in that situation, it's tough. An emotional loss and then trying to get geared up to play another game.
Pull back up and pull out level.
It's 11-10. Wow.
Especially when the
David
team you're
Smith.
playing, is it's David Smith now. When the team you're playing in Austin has won back-to-back games today, they're emotionally running on a high. They feel invincible.
High pop up over into right field. We're going to see if this is going to stay fair. But no, it is bouncing out and it is a foul, which is a real shame because David just tackled third base over there. And he's going to have to come all the way back. He's going to be exhausted. This heat is rough. And as we've said, the Jets don't seem to be playing the same as they were the game before.
Yes, but the game is still early.
Very early, top second, 2 outs, 3-2.
You see Kevin is leaning his head down, had his face down in his glove.
Oh, he is? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's back up. Maybe he's refocusing a little.
Yeah, it's also the breaks aren't going their way either. I mean, they've smacked 3 balls, and 2 of them by Zach Arambolo were foul, and then that one by Dave Smith was foul, and the one that Ricky hit the daylights out of was able to be tracked down by Brandon. So they're not getting the breaks right now either, just from that basic level. They're hitting the daylights out of some balls. They're just not getting the results, whether it's because they're foul or because the Blackhawks have been able to make the plays on them.
Taking a deep breath as he grabs a hold of his bat. He has a Black Max bat out there. He's feeling home plate. Just getting himself positioned right. He wants to take advantage of this opportunity.
He wants to get something going for sure because there's 2 outs. So this is the last chance for the team to score anything before turning it back over to the defense.
Oh, and a tip ball that just drops right behind him on the ground.
And that's 3 strikes again.
And you hear some little jeering over there from the Blackhawks.
I told you.
Wouldn't be sports without it. Hard pop up in left field, way past all of that. Brandon is running for it. I don't think he's going to. Base tackle. That's easy. They never even were close to that. It does tie it back up.
He just got all of it, and that was it. That's just as simple as that.
That was a great.
It was a wonderful hit by
Great hit.
David. That was probably not quite a pop-up, but it was a little more than a line drive. I'd say that was a good 45 feet in the air and just plowed straight forward over everybody's heads.
So that's his first run scored of the game. He's 1 for 2. He made it out his first at bat, but he also hit it hard. So 2 real hard hit balls by Dave Smith.
And as we have it tied up 3-3, we have Axel Cox coming back up to bat.
It is how many outs? 2.
There's 1 out.
1 out. Okay.
2 outs. Nope. 2 outs.
2 outs.
Okay.
2 outs.
2 outs.
Wow.
The ump is trying to figure out some information on one of the vehicles in the parking lot. I think it's beeping.
Oh,
It seems to be
the
making
ball.
a noise
No, that's
behind
not-
us. And no, it's
Oh, that ball.
Well, the Jets really needed that one for sure.
I was trying to tell him to turn it off. I have that blaring car beep beep on a panic alarm, and sounds when it's from a distance can distract from the sound of the ball. This is a game that is very dependent on hearing the bases and the ball.
Yes, we need complete silence.
Ready for a base check. Axel steps back off the plate.
Third
think
has
third,
been
now-
out.
third base ain't working.
Check that. Well, it was hit pretty hard just a little bit ago. The bottom half almost tipped back up over towards the top when he tackled that.
And I believe Axel scored in the first inning. It was the 2-run first inning for the Jets,
Yes.
and it was he and Arambula.
Right.
So he's trying to go 2 for 2.
There he is. He's got the bat back. Oh, and he just slid over the top
And
of that.
Axel is just newly elected to the NBBA board.
That as well as yourself, Kalari.
Along with yourself, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we are going to the board for the first time. Exciting.
Oh, catching it on the very tip of his bat, and it's going over foul over by the Jets bench, which is over on the first base side, and the Blackhawks are over on the third base.
Also, a lot more foul balls from Simpson and the hitters than we're used to early in this game. There's been a lot of shots, but several fouls. Just got to straighten this out here. 2 strikes on the hitter.
Kevin coming back up to the pitchers. Ready for it. Oh, and he slides right over that by about 2 inches. It was almost a perfect swing, though. Just not quite connecting with the ball. It's very smooth. Timing was great. Hard slam line drive into left. Goes right past Darius. Brandon has it, and it is up, and he is out. Brandon Chesser picking up that put out right behind
But
Darius.
it was on the. It was sound like it was on the ground, hard grounder.
Real
it
hard.
Was, it started
Yeah.
off a line drive, and it dropped right behind Darius onto the ground.
And that ground slows the ball down tremendously.
Absolutely,
Right.
that grass.
On a shorter grass, that ball is gone.
That's what I was thinking. I
Right.
was thinking that ball's hit on the ground. There's no one stopping that the way that sounded, and it must have just
It
died.
slows
does
it down
slow.
tremendously.
Still slows it down.
Yep.
Shame of it for Axel Cox. He could have had a 2 for 2 game. He, by all rights, probably should have based on the ball that he hit. The Jets come up with only one. The big
right.
swing by Dave
At
Smith.
least it still is 3-3.
3-3, with Austin coming back up.
Austin,
And
coming
Austin
back up,
is coming
and
back
we're gonna
up.
have the top of their order now. We're gonna have 1, 2, 3.
This
Jets
is a good,
going
exciting game.
back to the field.
Well, it is evident that the Jets are going to have to
Get
play
back
some
some of that
defense.
awesome defense that we
Yeah.
saw earlier.
And if-
100%.
And if you're Austin in a situation where you're the home team, if you can go into a situation where you're the underdog in the game and you're tied in the bottom of any inning, you're feeling good about yourself, and especially in the bottom of the second inning, 3-3, you've shown so far nobody else. You can hang in there because it's your serve at that point. They can't do anything about it. You can score and score and score as many runs as you can. And if you're Austin, you're looking to put a big crooked number on the board here.
So we will have Brandon Chesser back
All
up
right.
at bat again with those funky eye mask he has. It kind of looked like Hawkeye's almost drawn on there in white outline.
On his blindfold.
And he scored in the
Yes.
first inning. Axel
Yes.
almost made the play on him.
Absolutely, as he's feeling the home plate, measuring from the side. Each batter does it just a little differently. Some will measure across the whole front of the plate.
Yeah, I like to
Some will
measure.
go from the center, and some just go from the edge. It's all personal preference, just
Yep.
to get yourself
I
set
like,
up.
I like to go across the plate for me. Like you said, but it's personal preference.
Everybody, yeah, absolutely. Everybody's just like different pitchers have their own style, so we can hear the differences in these pitchers. Oh, and that was a narrow miss. It was closer to the end of his bat, but just went under.
So far, a stat to keep it.
Oh, and a grounder there just went past little Ricky. It's Brandon Rush. Oh, it fumbled out of his bat, but he's got him out. I believe that is David Smith with the put out. Yes, it was David Smith. That was just maybe a second and a half there before
Wow.
Brandon would have been safe, but no
Almost.
such luck.
Almost another fumble away for the Jets on
Yes.
defense, but
Yes.
Almost
Defense
did not
looks
have that.
very shaky right now.
absolutely. But they made that play, and that's
Yeah.
one out. Maybe it's making a shaky play that gets you less shaky. One out in the inning, and you're tied at 3. Maybe it's turning a scoreless inning like this. But the stat that I was about to bring up, that it's early, an indicator right now, no strikeouts for Austin, 3 for Kevin Simpson. So, just their batters are on top of things.
Yeah. One batter's looks definitely Timmy is having a
Finn.
better hitting day.
Oh, and it just tipped down and
All
dropped
right.
down by the ump.
Michael Finn, he's a Hall of Famer, former of the West Coast Dogs. Very thunder-like team back in the day.
High pop up over the left, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, it landed about 2 feet in front of him as he was running to third. He's lucky it didn't hit him in the head like the last game.
What?
Trying to remember who was trying to catch the ball.
Wasn't it the pitcher for the Jets?
No, it was
Or
not the
catcher?
pitcher. It was the batter. He was running back. He heard it above him. He was reaching his hands up to try to catch it, and it got him in the top of the
Boinked
head
him
and
on the
rolled
head.
down his shoulder. He's like, man, I wanted to catch that. But Michael Finn back up at home plate.
All right, Finn Dog.
Finn Dog, I like that.
Yeah, that was his nickname back in the day.
1 for 1.
Oh, and he popped it. It's bouncing around on the ground over to left, but it is right to Zach. You know what happens when it goes to the left field on the ground? Zach is just scooping everything up. He's kind of like a baby just learning how to use that spoon. They're just shoveling everything they can into their mouth. He doesn't care what it is. If it's anywhere out there, he's grabbing it and scooping it up.
Already his third put out in this game, and we saw 12 put outs against the Thunder. And I don't think people realize how astounding that is because you only get 18 outs in a game.
Exactly.
So he gets 12 of those outs. There were a couple strikeouts in there, so
Definitely working to be the defensive player of the game out
if there's a
there.
play to be made in the field, it was his play, essentially.
Getting
So-
our base check.
2 outs, and the Jets trying to work through this inning here. Get through it unscathed.
We got Danny Fabiano, and it's going to be a grounder and left, and it's going straight to Zach again. There he goes. Another out, another put out by Zach. He didn't even have to work on that. Dropped to the ground. It was at his ankles, rolled right up, said, here, you're out.
That's 4 putouts already, 2 putouts an inning so far for him. No runs in the second inning for Austin.
right,
a little bit of missed
now.
opportunity there. So
Yeah,
2 innings
missed
in the books.
Yep.
The Jets
3-3 tight game.
take advantage of this. They
Yes.
held them down.
They
Got to be
did.
rejuvenated. Try to take the lead here and see if they can put themselves back into their Jet status.
David Smith, we talked about, no strikeouts in the inning, so it required 3 defensive putouts for the Jets, and that was a shaky putout to start the inning.
Yes.
And then just both routine groundouts by Zach Arambula. So sometimes,
Absolutely.
making that shaky play gets you on track a little bit. So we'll go to the
Definitely,
third.
I would say the Austin defense may be slightly, it's better than the Jets defense, especially with all the veterans they have, the Mike Finn.
They definitely seem to be acting it in this game.
And
Was
this
it
is a
yesterday's
defensive-
game that we
defensive
saw
field.
with the Jets?
Yes.
That they had some phenomenal defense like we'd never seen. It was
Right.
just superb yesterday. They were on.
2 runs against the Indy Edge allowed. And the Indy Edge are a good offensive team.
Yes.
And they were both, just Nick Mulhern was the only one that scored for the Indy Edge. They really shut them down and the Indy Edge only struck out 3 times. So there's plays made in the field all game. So here's the top of the third, and we're gonna have, I believe it's gonna be the top of the Jets order now. Or is it 4, 5,
No,
6?
this
4, 5,
is- yeah,
6.
this
4, 5, 6.
is-
This is who up now?
4, 5, 6. So who's our fourth guy?
This is Aaron. I
Yep.
believe.
No, it's who's yours.
You said what?
Number 4, Aaron.
Here's yours.
Oh.
So I'm switching.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
So Aaron Almanza.
Up for the pitch. Kevin ready. Oh, and it's going to be a bouncing grounder. It's going over to Darius. Darius just scooped that up, and he is out. That is too bad. He
Darius,
scooped that up.
excellent defender.
He did that almost just like Zach was doing earlier. He just ran over there, plopped down in front of it, and gobbled that up.
Yeah, pretty excited. Made the play.
Wow.
0 for 2 for Almanzar.
This is a defensive game.
It really is.
Honestly,
3-3.
playing in a game like this, I will want to be the home team, definitely. Looks
Yeah,
like it's gonna
definitely
be
the
tit
Blackhawks
for
have that
tat.
advantage.
It's tit for tat right now.
As Ricky Ruzica comes up for the bat.
And not for lack of trying on the Jets' side of things. They are hitting the
Right.
ball, but Austin's hanging in there right now. We have a 3-3 tie, top of the third, 1 out, no count.
Oh, and it smacked Kevin right in the waistline. Hoping he's okay.
He's
Walked it off,
he's
Kevin.
fine.
Might be past his child rearing age. So. As they wait for that ball to come back up. He's kind of shaking his head a little.
It hit him in the thigh.
Oh, did he say it caught him in the thigh?
Well, no, I'm asking you.
Oh,
What do you
no,
think
I
it-
would have said it got him right in the family jewels, but
Oh,
Well, that's what you just said. So now you would say it.
so you think? Okay. Well, he's
So
up.
you're
Ricky
saying-
up and back. Hey, back there. Need it quiet.
One strike on the batter.
As he leans back, ready for the pitch. And it's going to be a grounder. That's going to be foul along
didn't
the
want that
third
one.
Definitely
base
do not
side.
want it on the ground.
Yeah, he didn't want
Absolutely
that
not.
one. He did not want
Not
that.
in a game like this. Everybody's on it defensively. They're just going to gobble that up. You're going to need that air time to get you where you're going.
Yep.
I hear a lot of heckling over there on the Blackhawks side.
And these are two rivals. Kevin Simpson
Yes.
used to be the pitcher for the Blackhawks. I mean, you know,
Yep. And Axel.
yeah,
Cox.
I was going to say, I'm sure.
I used to play Boston.
Oh, he sliced right over the top of that by maybe about a half inch. Calling for a time.
Oh,
And we
And
have a
third
no
base
sound
again.
coming from third base as it wobbles
right.
in the breeze.
Oh,
there we go.
Base
Probably
ump check
wire
the-
changed.
there we go. Yep.
Checking that. See if it will stay live.
So we have two
Ricky's
strikes
still
on
up
the
at
hitter.
bat. Kevin going to be a little more careful. These pitches coming right back at him.
Well, for one, Ricky Ruzica, one of the strikeout victims in the first.
Oh, and it pops right
Oh.
up. That was a perfect pitch. But it popped right back to the catcher. Caught it right in the middle of the bat. I'm not sure where the twist came from.
3 strikes to count.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
see, they got something for everything.
Another
Oh,
strikeout.
sliding right over the top of that. As Ricky grabs the end of his bat with a grip. A little bit of frustration there.
Yeah, it's rare for a Jet. 0 for 2 strikeouts. And that,
Yes, definitely. Kevin's not.
no,
I've
and
seen better pitching.
Yeah?
Yes.
Now we have
And
our
this stat
younger little
continues to
Ricky.
become a story. It's now 4-0 in the strikeout department, and that when you have 4 outs that the other team didn't have to do anything for, and you have a tie beat baseball game, that's a big deal.
Yeah, but
Little
if
Ricky
anybody
up.
can do it, Kevin's gonna turn it on there.
Remember, I did say he has that unusual way of holding his bat. A high pop up over into left. It's going to be just behind Darius. But I think they're out there. They've got him. He is out.
He's out. Who made
Let's
that?
see. That was.
Brandon Chester? Oh, no.
Nope, that was Danny Papiano.
Papiano is his
As he
second put out
caught
of the
that,
day.
picking up from right behind Darius.
That's the second time Ricky Castaneda has popped the first pitch just about as hard as he could, only to be put out. And we just talked about the land of missed opportunity. How about a 1-2-3 inning for the Austin Blackhawks defense? So
Wow.
the Jets turned the trick. Austin turned the trick. You said this
Yeah.
was a defensive game. There
Defensive game, defensive field.
You saw the
Still.
Jets score 2 in the top of the first. Austin rallied with 3 in the bottom of the first, and it was like, okay, here we go. Well, since then, the Jets got
One.
an absolute pop off the bat of David Smith, and that was nothing any defense could do about that.
Right.
Nothing in the bottom of the second for Austin, nothing in the top of the first for the Jets, absolutely nothing. And we're in 3-3 now, going to the bottom of the third. I mean, this is a legitimate tug-of-war defensive
Exactly.
effort.
Great defensive games.
Totally, the Blackhawks are definitely in this game as the Jets are taking the field, setting up their positions, and we'll have Steve Purrier up at bat,
Steve Perry.
doing his little hip switch there as he stands at the plate. And the pitcher's twisting back and forth, trying to stay limber as he waits.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
He's 0 for 1.
Steve kind of done a little twisting there, back and forth, a few sample swings with his bat, keeping his shoulders limber. And it looks like the field is ready. A little bit of grumbling out there, but they are ready.
So now we're starting to get into the middle of the game. This is starting to become, this game is starting to take shape as to what it's going to look like. See how the Blackhawks third goes as we close the book on the first half of the game.
Oh, and that the ball was low, only a few inches off the ground, so it was a complete miss.
Trying to avoid hitting it to Zach Arambola.
A much higher pitch, but he was still under by about, the ball was about 2 inches under that bat.
Okay, he's bringing it up.
Oh, that one was up about 2 inches again, just barely missing.
2021 NBBA Beep Ball World Series, South Lake Soccer Complex in Wichita, Kansas. We thank all of you for joining.
And he's taking that pitch, just standing there. You hear Brandon Chesser calling pretty boy from over there on the sidelines.
It's always good to see that camaraderie, though. You know,
Yes.
Oh, you wouldn't have sports without it. That's going to go anywhere, I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely.
If it wasn't there, I'd be a little worried.
lead man here in the bottom third.
Oh, on the inside of his bat, it popped back up and caught him in the hand.
Ooh. The hand. And that hurts.
Caught him right in the back of his right hand, I
He
believe.
caught Kevin's hand or the batter?
No, the batter, Steve's. Caught right back up off the tip of the bat and came back at his hands.
Now let's see what he does with the count full.
High up in the left field, probably about 40 feet up. Just Darius running back. And, nope, Zach ran back. Got it. Steve somersaulted over third base, but Zach had it.
Yep, clearly out on that one. That's the first out. That's the fifth put out already by Zach.
Wow.
He's just making the great play.
Steve Hope's all right there. He literally, as he grabbed that base, went down. His head was down. His feet flopped up all the way back over and did a somersault.
And we apologize. We're getting messages and notes that the stream keeps cutting out. Trying to do our best here to combat that situation, but we're doing the best we can.
You're out in the middle of a soccer field complex. There's not the best technology going on here.
Yes.
So we'll have Mariano next. Okay. He has an interesting mask. He has a black face mask on, and it has an orange Texas Longhorn right across the center, bullseye above his nose.
Right. And again,
hope nobody's out for target practice there.
Yes, absolutely.
So for those of you then who lost the stream, it is 3-3. The Jets did not score in the top of the third inning. There's one out in the bottom half of the third inning. No count on the batter.
I still have some checking going on over there for the pitcher. It looks like his shoe might be coming apart.
What?
That's probably not the best thing.
At least hopefully he's not. Yeah, the back of his sole, I can see it just looks like it's a little loose.
New shoes tomorrow for sure if they win this game.
Well, he might have to run someplace tonight and get some replacements just for emergency.
Replacement soles.
I'm ready for the pitch here for Mariano. Oh, and it's going to be over into right field, past little Ricky. And Ricky in the back, big Ricky got that.
Oh.
It would have been Ricky Ruzica, I believe, who got that put out.
Yeah, that's a put out for Big Ricky. It's his second of the game, and if I'm Mariano, I might have wanted to have a little more speed to burn on that one.
Yeah, Mariano has had just a little bit more. He probably would have been in there.
Absolutely.
But again, the fields. If it was a offensive field, that would have been a shot gone.
Yeah, it's
as soon as it hit
a
the
change
ground,
when you're used to playing on a different field. You assume you have a certain amount of time, and you just don't have it.
And he still, by less than a second, was put out, so it's not like he missed it by a long shot if the ground had made that bounce. So this is 2 outs for I believe this is Darian, right? And he's the fast guy.
Sterling
he's
up
the fast guy.
Bat with his green socks and bright orange Nike cleats.
Like Leprechaun.
Yeah. Totally
I can
like
say
that.
That's my friend. Like a Leprechaun.
Oh, and that was about 2 inches under the inside portion of the bat. A little bit close. And popped up just past the pitcher. That's all it's going to do. It is foul. Did not make it.
So Ricky Ruzica with a couple of key putouts.
Yes. Look like the Jets defense is stepping up.
Hopefully they'll get into their groove.
1 out away from getting through this inning.
Oh, that one he was underneath the pitch by about 3 inches. He slightly rests his right elbow up against his inside waist there as he's waiting for the pitch.
Oh, really?
It's also another unique little difference there. Oh, swinging high, and he was about 2 inches too high.
I didn't want to
So that
say
is
it.
out.
Because I didn't want to say it. I didn't know how intelligent it would sound, but I was going to say he might be due for a strikeout because the Austin pitcher 2 times through the order has not struck anyone out, and it just, in sports, just stuff like that happens, and he strikes out, and that's the first strikeout of the game, and it's still no fault of the Austin pitcher. That's 12 straight batters before finally striking anyone out. We're midway through this game, and it is
3-3.
still
a defensive battle.
It is definitely, it's like gritting the teeth and holding each other there. A dog with a bone and another dog who wants it. Back and forth. With nobody gaining anything.
Yes, this is a great game. These are the type of games you want to see.
as fun as 10-10 or 18-17 would be.
Right.
Yes, this is
These
exactly
are
what you want to see.
More of the nail biters, I feel.
Absolutely.
Especially if I'm
Definitely
playing.
really keep you
It's
agitated,
no error
not
for
knowing.
mistakes at all.
Feeling very uncertain. It's so close. The teeniest little thing can affect either way.
Especially with Zach Aramble up there short, Brendan Cheshire on the other side back there deep, Danny Fabiano
Yes.
making great plays, elite defensive players back there. So they might even have more elite defensive players, as you said, than the Jets. I mean, the Jets have Zach Aramble, and other players have been fine when called upon. David Smith's made some putouts, Ricky Ruzica, he's made some putouts. We've seen it. But really, it's been the Zach Aramble show in the field. So far with the Blackhawks, we've seen a few players in the field, spread it around a little bit. They have a few all-stars back there. We'll see if that makes a difference. The Jets seem to have a little more power in their bats, maybe a tiny bit more speed to the bases, but it's nothing significant like Houston. And it really depends on the kind of the batter that's hit, the current batter. So it's 3-3, and it's all going to depend on what, sometimes you don't see a game take shape until the 4th inning. Rosina, we saw that game against the Indy Edge with the Jets yesterday. It was 3-1 up until the 4th inning.
Yes.
Really kind of sleepwalked until the 4th inning, and then the Jets just kind of took off.
Right.
So to pardon
And
the
that's
pun.
a lot of times what happens with the pitchers. They heat up. So still a
Speaking
lot
of
game, man.
Zach, he's up at bat.
All right.
Took a deep breath.
He's 1 for 2. He is, however, one of the 4 strikeout victims of Kevin Simpson. Kevin is ready to straighten that out. Stop striking guys out.
Oh, and he got a good tip on that, but it dropped right back down. But it was a solid tip. It
All
wasn't a
right,
bare
sir.
neck.
Yeah,
Got his
pitchers like that.
Black Max.
Foul tips don't sound ordinary with pitchers like Kevin.
Hard hit over into right. That looks like that's going to be, yes, it's way out there, but just inside the line. And he is safe. That is Zach safe. Finally getting another point on the board and moving the Jets into the lead, 4-3.
Yeah, there was no doubt about that one. That was one of those, sounded like one of those no chancers. It was just hit. Zach had struck out his last at bat. You knew he was looking for some redemption, and
Yep.
redemption he got. And that's his second run of this game. So they have 4 runs. He has 2 of them, 2 out of 3.
Yep.
And back on top for the Jets. And here's a man who scored his last at bat at the time, tied the game at 3, and hadn't seen a guy score since. Dave Smith.
All
David
right,
Smith.
Another power hitter.
He's got his green hat on backwards under his mindfold shades.
We were also told that David Smith also dabbles in a little bit of singing as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, he is.
Definitely.
Him, and also Axel Cox is
I know
does a
Juan
little
Carlos
rapper.
does a little bit from Bayou.
Yeah.
Ready for the pitch. Hard pop up into center, about 50 feet high, and then dropping short right there. He is safe. They are finally starting
They're
to take
starting
off.
to hit, and as you see, they're air ball.
And that was
Absolutely.
short, but Kalari. But unfortunately for the Blackhawk defenders, it was in the air for so long that by the
Yes.
time it did bounce, it just didn't give him enough time.
Exactly.
It kind of bounced a little crazy. It bounced close to him, and as they were reaching for it, it kind of bounced off to the right, so it just bounced just out of the reach.
Yep.
As David Smith
Yep,
walks back to the bench.
And that's what you want. You want a 3 to 4 second air ball.
And another
Because when
thing,
it drops, you'd be pretty much at the base.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And that's what David Smith was. And another thing you want is for your top of your lineup to produce, and that's 4 runs from
Exactly.
David Smith and Zach Rambo.
We have
Yep.
Axel Cox stepping up as the ump calls for quiet.
It's 4-3 Jets.
It's 5 now.
It's 5-3 now.
5-3 now.
Axel Cox popping it up over into right field, but short. Let's see if he can get there before they. He is out. That was split second. I didn't see how far that was up in the air away from his body, so that was a very tight call there for the ump.
Yeah.
I believe that was Brandon Cheshire making that play.
Oh, that was
No,
Brandon.
that was Brandon's out in left field.
Right.
This is waiting for him to stand up. So
I
you
just
can
thought
see
I
his
heard
number.
good job, Brandon.
Did you get the number on that? 21, Eric. Oh, 21.
Oh,
Eric,
Eric Maserati.
okay.
I don't have
E-Dog.
21 on here.
That's his first put out of the day. And
I have 22.
And he is part of that West Coast dog team. So he was with Michael Finn, Danny Fabiano, and E-Dog. E. Maserati. So they all had dogs at the end. He was E-Dog, Finn Dog, and Fop Dog.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, West Coast Dogs.
All right.
DAWG.
Aaron.
Axel 0 for 3,
up
having
and
a rough
back.
day. He's put it in play all 3 times. That just didn't have as much hang time as the David Smith pop-up.
Yeah. Oof.
And that ball was just a little under his swing by about an inch and a half.
This Ricky?
Kind of adjusting
Oh, it's
the
Aaron.
batter back. This is Aaron. He's got the bat high up over above his shoulder, above his head. Oh, and that ball was just a little under, but it was centered perfectly in the center of the bat, just not quite high enough.
And I apologize, Axel did score a run earlier in this game in the first inning. He was one of 2 that scored in the first inning. So the top of the order has all 5 runs for the Jets.
Oh, and that one just came past the edge of the bat and a little under.
5-3 Jets have jumped on top in the top of the 4th. 1
Still a
out.
lot of game left.
1 out,
A
yep.
lot of game.
Plenty of game left, and we're getting a breeze and a bouncing grounder going to. Oh, it just popped off him and knocked his face mask off. And he missed the base, came back around, and he's safe. He went around, slid on the ground, crawled back to it, and got it. The face mask did come off of number 21.
So
I popped his face mask on. He couldn't get the ball. That's always like the worst feeling in the world. After you get hit in the face and still can't get the ball.
and then the base runner. I mean, where do you start? And then the base runner is like, okay, he's easily going to score, and then he misses the base, and then it gives the fielder time. So just a land of missed opportunity in that whole
Right.
scenario.
It
Ultimately,
just
though,
ended up in the Jets' favor.
Yep, and it's 6-3 now.
Yeah.
We have the ump going. We have 3 umps now over at first base conferring on this. Just double checking and
'Cause it's-
making
'Cause
sure.
it seemed it took a long time for him to come back to the base.
It did.
Well,
and
he
that
was on the
pickup
ground. He had
was-
slid, and he had to literally crawl back to the base because he knew he was close. He was just feeling around, crawling for it.
So you had him crawling to the base, and you had the fielder trying to find his face mask in the ball, and then just pick that up. And
Just a bizarre play, absolutely all the way around.
Face mask.
Considering he's on the opposite side of the base and it is beeping forward, he could hear it enough to know that he was close. So he didn't really want to get up and run for it. So he was just crawling around, just warming his arms around, knowing it was just right there within reach. It had to be close.
Oh my gosh! Wow. I usually, if I ever miss a base, I like to try to just get up and run back.
Yeah.
Forget crawling. Because in your mind, you think, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah, I
what's this?
think he could tell that he was.
and they have
Really
confirmed
close.
that run is
Yeah.
good.
Okay, so that is a good run. That is counting 6-3. We have
Okay.
Ricky up at bat. Big Ricky.
So Ruzicka, he hasn't gotten a hit yet in this game.
And he
Ooh, on the-
plops it on the ground over in left field, right into Darius. Just got to
Yep.
scoop it up, and it is out as he runs past third base. Darius with the put out.
Now, Ricky Castaneda is 0 for 2, and he's hit the ball a ton both times, and he's been retired, and they've both been first pitches. So let's see if he can duplicate that with 2 outs. A big inning for the Jets, biggest
Yes.
inning so far for them, 3-run fourth.
And little Ricky has this unusual bat hold that I mentioned before, Matt. He has the bat up tight against his body, literally with his hands up against his waist, and the midsection of the bat is up against his ear as he holds it. Literally, using his body to help support that bat until he's ready to swing.
But you get the feeling, Kalari, this is an enormous batter in this game because if he gets a hit here, not only is it 7-3 with 2 outs, but Zach Arambola and Dave Smith are on deck.
He brings them
Well,
right
I think
on up.
he's got to get the hit, then get the base, not just the hit. But, oh, we got a plane overhead.
Well, yeah, this is definitely key right here. Definitely key. A big bat right here.
Yep.
And waiting, see if we can find out who's got another vehicle or something, a lawnmower on the other side going. Maybe we need to stop. We got a plane, we have a lawnmower, and a vehicle, it looks like.
I'm just glad, as hot as it is, that all the rain got itself out of the way Monday night.
Yes, and unfortunately canceled that great competition.
Hardest hitter, fastest runner.
That's a shame.
Yes.
That's a shame.
I was really looking
Looking
forward to
to it. I was
watching
going
that.
to represent the Chicago Comets.
Okay.
Yep.
Was that for the fastest runner, Kalari?
Oh, absolutely not.
The way you were hustling in that Wool game, that was going to be my guess.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was pretty fun yesterday. I mean, on Wednesday. I had a great day.
Yeah, you were there to, the Divas weren't going to lose that game.
No.
And that's the...
Oh, and he slides right underneath that ball by about 2 inches.
Strike one, first time we haven't seen him hit the first pitch.
Pulling the bat back up tight against his body. Oh, and he slides under it again, this time only by about 1 inch, so he's getting a little bit closer. Kevin's shaking his head over there and telling the catcher to lower his glove.
Okay.
And a pop, a grounder over on the left. It's going to Darius. Oh, popped up on his left, but he grabbed it and he is out.
Wow.
So that is going to be out.
Jeez.
Couple of
it
put-outs.
sounds so hard when it's on the ground. It's like if it's a grounder, it's on.
Yeah, and it didn't even have that ground ball noise. It
Right.
had that pop-up noise.
Right, exactly.
But a big, important out to get for the Austin Blackhawks there. They allow 3 runs. Now 6-3 going to the bottom of the 4th in favor of the Jets.
All right. It's
Austin.
a defensive
Definitely
game.
a game. This
Let's
is
see
something
what
to
Austin
watch.
can do now.
With the
Oh,
top,
this is exciting. I love this.
it is. It's very exciting. And the top of Austin's order, we'll try to see what they can do. You saw what the
Yes, let's
Jets
see if
lineup
Timmy
could
can put on get hot here.
Let's get some say it's getting hot in here. I'm not a singer like David there, so you might not want to listen to that.
Absolutely.
do. But
Oh,
you're,
Dave's he's a good guy.
but you're a Missouri person, if I'm not much mistaken. It's getting hot in here by Nelly, right? He's a Missouri guy.
I am from Missouri.
Oh, that's a nice connection
There you
man.
go.
I'll take that connection. It's better
Okay.
than some of the ones I could have thought of. And we do have Brandon Chesser up. I'll just take that spotlight away from me, please.
Captain Beatball.
Yes, I have heard that.
Yes.
He's
That's
had a
why you
couple
walk
of
around with the cape.
Why he has the cape.
Yeah.
He's scored a run. He's got a couple putouts today. He's contributed on both sides. Let's see if he
Practicing
can-
swings with 2 bats there. A double bat to stretch his arms out, and he tosses one aside. And just tossed it to the side like so much excess bathwater.
This is a critical inning offensively for the Austin. They can't look at this anymore and say, yeah, we have time. This is the 4th inning. You don't make up some of the difference now. We're on to the 5th. This is getting late, getting to crunch time. Brendan Cheshire needs to make something happen.
A couple of slow little swings to stretch his arms out and ready for the pitch. Oh, it's a nice hit. It's
Chop on the ground.
bouncing grounder there over in right field. Just reached past some fingers. I didn't see with the umpire there, and he is safe.
Wow. And that bounced over who? It bounced over.
I didn't see the ump was between me and the play, so I don't know who it bounced over and who even got the put out.
That's a good hustle by
Or
Brendan
did not
Cheshire.
get
That
the
was
putt.
a.
yes.
That
I
sounded like
didn't
a
see whose
routine.
fingers.
That's to score on a bouncing grounder. Wow.
Yes, that genuinely sounded to me like a routine play right
Right,
there.
exactly.
And a defense like the Jets. I wonder if Zach Arambola was on that side, couldn't make the play. or
No, this
he
was,
just
it had Little Ricky and David Smith and then Ricky Ruzica. All 3 of them were in that area.
couldn't- none
I
of
just
them could
could
make
not
the-
see the fingers there with the extra body.
So now it's 6-4, and here comes Austin now with nobody out. And a big missed opportunity for the Jets because that was a good little ground ball.
Okay, I believe this is going to be Michael Finn coming up. Finn Dog.
Exactly. There you go. Finn Dog.
Catching some of that going on there.
He's 1 for 2. He scored in the first.
Oh, and just
he's on
tipping
it.
at a light little tip across that ball.
The Austin pitcher very enthusiastically saying, "You were right there."
It's going to be a pop-up, but that's going to be
Yep.
foul over on the first base, going just past the Jets bench. Over near our photography stand on the cameras.
2 strikes.
Prepping up. A pitcher saying, I like the way you think. He might have been talking about the breeze, but I doubt it. Oh, and he sliced right over the top of that by about an inch.
Yeah, you might have been talking to Mother Nature. That's the way you think.
As the wind picks up.
Yes, it would.
As it picks up again, great breeze. That time the ball was a little over the bat.
Strike 4. That's it. He's out.
That is out.
Wow, okay.
That's out number 1. That's only the second strikeout we've seen from Austin's pitcher, and that was a little surprising. So out number 1 for the number 3 hitter.
All
Danny
right. Who we
Fabiano.
have up now?
This is number 4, Danny Fabiano, up to bat with his red and
dog.
white head covering.
Fop dog.
Fop dog. Yeah.
Fabiano.
Yeah.
And a high pop-up, but it's going to be foul as it comes off behind us back over toward the Blackhawk bench.
Danny Fabiano not only been with West Coast Dogs, with Kansas All-Stars, New York teams from New York, so he's been all around. All around.
Oh, and
2
complete
strikes
miss as
on
he
him here.
slid right on there. There was about a paper's width of air between there.
So we have 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Jets 6, Austin 4.
Oh, and that was a miss. Another strike. Pitcher looking off to the side, a little aggravated. Rotating the ball in his hand.
We thank all those who were able to join us today for this stream.
Oh, found him.
Another tip that rolled right off the top of the bat to the catcher. Oh, that one was a complete miss. That is going to be 4, and he is out.
And all of a sudden, you wonder if the Austin pitcher might be losing it a little bit, as you've seen 3 strikeouts in the last 4 hitters now
Yes.
by him. And Kevin Simpson, meanwhile, on the other side, no strikeouts last inning.
Yes. See, every pitcher has their time when they get hot.
Yeah, and
When you're hot,
You're
you're
hot.
hot.
But when you're off, you're off.
you're off.
We have Steve Purrier coming up to the plate. Some clapping over there from the Jets. And a good base check. A few swings from Steve before he settles ready for the pitch. Oh, right over the top of that one. Still trailing by 2 points for the Blackhawks.
6-4, bottom of the 4th.
Oh, and again, over the top of that, about still the same, about 2 to 3 inches there.
2 outs, and from a Jets perspective, they have to feel fortunate, back-to-back strikeouts. They really should feel like they should be in the dugout, because that 1 run was on a low grounder.
Oh, this is a
Like that
bouncing
one.
grounder again, but it's going straight to little Ricky. Scoops it in his.
Yeah.
That was so out. Oh, Steve got just a little over halfway to the base, but that was just perfectly set right up to go. Scoop right up.
Frankly,
Ricky had that easy as pie.
that was not a good time for the offense to disappear a little bit for Austin. They did score a run
They
on
need
the board.
to scratch every inning.
Yeah,
They
and
have to. Well, they have what, 1 in this inning, right?
They
Yeah, we're
had
going to the
1 in
fifth.
that one.
they had 1 in that inning. It's 6-4, and now we're going to the top of the 5th inning. The Jets have a chance now with a 2-run lead to
Yeah.
really
Widen
keep
that
our
lead. Stretch it a little further.
Well, what's disconcerting for me from a Blackhawks perspective is 2 strikeouts and 2 little grounders, and one of them was fortunate enough to produce a run. But you know, when you're approaching this point in the game, you want the bats to be hotter and not cooling off.
Exactly. You definitely. This is not the time to cool off.
Austin scored 3 runs in the first inning. They've scored 1 run in the last 3 innings, and that again was on that very, very soft ground ball.
Right.
We have a couple of our umps sitting out drinking their fluids, keeping hydrated out on the field. Again,
Yes,
thank you to
it's
all our
extremely
volunteers
Yes.
for bringing water, being spotters, base judges, base runners, or scorekeepers. We thank you to everybody who helps make this possible out here in
Yes.
Wichita at the South Lake Sports Complex. NBBA 2021 World Series. This is day 4. And more chatter from the Blackhawks.
Yeah, I told you.
They do sound like a group of birds chattering back and forth at each other.
Yeah.
Squabbling hawks.
But this is the third place game, so the winner of this game will advance to the championship round tomorrow, where they will have to then defeat the Indy Thunder twice tomorrow. So easy task. And then the loser of this game gets the third place.
Easy as pie, just
Oh, yeah,
like
you
that.
know.
As we start off with Zach up at bat.
Zach, 2 for 3 in this game.
Oh, and that ball slipped right underneath the bat. About an inch and a half.
Wow.
We're in the 5th inning. It's officially getting late.
Yes.
A lot of conversation here between
This
Zach
inning
and
is
Kevin.
big right now for Austin.
Absolutely. Top of the Jets order.
Oh, and a power drive right through center. Oh, but it rolled over Brandon. Oh, he got him. It rolled right over his body, but it didn't go anywhere. It just popped to the other side. He was able to scoop it up and get Zach out.
That sounded like a literal tie. He said up. I thought it sounded to me like even a fraction of a second before. What a close play. Obviously, the umpire can see and I cannot. I'm just saying that it sounded like it was that close.
Yeah.
And that was Brandon Chesser out there on left field.
Wow. Captain Beat Ball.
Rolled
Another put out
over
for
his
him.
body
3
and
for
he
him.
still grabbed it up.
That's a big out, getting Zach out. That's been pretty hard to do today.
Yes.
David Smith up at the plate. A high hold on his bat.
Start low, finish high is what Kevin Simpson is relaying to him.
Oh, I almost thought I heard a little bit of a tick on that, but apparently not.
It's crazy. I always think I hear the ticks. Like, oh, that's a foul.
1 strike on the batter, 1 out in the inning.
Oh, and that's going to be right along the third base line. It is staying fair, but can he get it up in there? Oh, he's out. That was a split second, and that one is going to be by Dog Fop Dog? Danny Fabiano. Fop Dog. I wanted to say the dog first, but
The two big guns on defense, Kalari, who you were talking about, really throughout the course of this game, just made 2 big gun defensive plays against the 2 big Jets.
Yep.
I mean, really, if they come back and win this game, they're going to look at this 5th inning defensively.
Yes.
and say this is where we held
Defensive
him down.
stand.
As David makes his way back to the bench.
And both Zach and David both had some Zach and David-like hits. Maybe not the hardest they've ever hit in their lives, but 2 solid strokes. And the defensive players just able to make the defensive plays. Just got to get through this one more out for them.
Double check. The ump is conferring with another ump. Just to double check and make sure on that one.
That was also a really, really close play.
Conferring out on the field. We'll make sure that that was an out. Axel up here taking a few practice swings as he's waiting for the decision from the men in blue. He's safe.
David
So it
Smith
is
is
safe.
gonna
It's
be-
going to count David Smith. That moves them up 7-4 for the Jets. That had to have been a split-second
Now
decision.
that type of reversal could be detrimental sometimes to a defense.
Oh, my
Especially
goodness.
mentally as
Right.
well.
In the 5th inning of a 2-run game, now a 3-run game in a third-place game, and you're so pumped up and happy. Your guy, Danny Fabiano, longtime player, has just made a sterling defensive play. All of a sudden, it's nothing. It's a run.
Has to be discouraging to have that changed. Axel Cox up
To the
at
defender,
plate.
but it's more so the team, the mindset. Let's see if they can. That's 3 for 4 for David Smith in this game, though. So
Letting
he's
all
been an
the umps
offensive star.
get back to their positions, and he's checking the rest of the field. 1 out, 7-4 for Jets.
What a major call at this point in the game.
Kevin coming back up to the pitcher's mound.
Axe scored a run in the 1st inning, hasn't scored since.
Oh, they tipped off the top of that ball as it dropped back down. I have a feeling that ball's not going to last much longer. It sounded just a little wavering. Oh, and a solid hit
Now
down
might be the
into
time for it to
right.
be dead.
Oh, it just rolled over Randy's arm. And he is safe. Oh, that is heartbreaking.
Oh.
Sometimes when it rains, it pours a little bit, and you get the one bad call or the
Yes.
one
That was-
reversed call. I can't say bad call. Well, one reversed
Worst
call.
I'm telling you, it's detrimental to the mental.
Yep.
And then something like that.
Yeah, it was right over Steve Purrier's arm. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That was right over Steve's arm.
Kevin Simpson now finding his bats, and
Yeah.
the top three for the Jets. They have 8 runs today. Axel, Zach, and Dave Smith, 7 runs out of the 8
Wow.
scored for the Jets.
Definitely seems like the Jets have found their groove and their happy spot. Not so slouching, and they're just slowly picking
Yeah.
up speed.
And the only run from the bottom of their order, Aaron Almanza, is batting now.
Aaron up
That
now.
was a missed play by the defense. So the top of the order has really been it for the Jets offense. But they lead 8-4 now.
High pop-up. I'm not sure if this is going to be fair. And that is
Oh.
foul. That was probably about 30 feet straight up in the air and landed about 5 feet
Wow.
behind the pitcher.
Let me tell you, you can hit that 40 feet and score a run because that's
As
just
you can
hot.
see, Kevin is warming up. I told you.
Yep.
It's
popping
these pitchers
hot.
get hot.
I think it's the breeze.
I talked about his 4 strikeouts by early 3rd inning. He has 4 strikeouts in the game. He hasn't struck anyone out in a while.
Definitely feeling his groove, getting his positive mojo back. Aaron testing out home plate, getting a feel for where he's wanting to stand as Kevin comes back up to the pitcher's mound. Aaron in his lovely green cleats.
I love it.
Oh, right, just missed that.
Strike 2. I said strike 1, but that is the second strike. Austin immediately correcting him.
I'm getting the catcher's mitt on. Oh, and that ball was just under the swing. You can see Kevin nodding off to the side over to the bench
He's
as
not
there's
into them.
more bird chatter over there from the Blackhawks. And it's going to be a line drive out and oh, it's right bounced over Darius's legs. Him and it was a fight there between him and Fop Dog for the ball, but neither one got it done, and that's going to be another run for the Jets. It's 9-4.
Another really close play, and now they're feeling it. Now they got the song going.
There's
they're
the fight
feeling it.
chant.
Yep.
Now you hear the
Now
singing, bringing it on. David's probably leading them over there.
Yeah, the Jets are feeling it now, and you just, like you said, that one play, Kalari, if they're able to just somehow get those 2 outs and get out of that 7-4, you just say, oh, what an unfortunate call. But then 1 leads to 2, which has now led to 3.
Exactly, and it just keeps going, and now momentum is on the Jets' side right now.
9-4.
Yeah.
As Ricky Ruzicka comes up to the plate. Getting a base check. Kind of has a little bit of a squatting stance there as he's prepping. And bouncing grounder over straight to Darius again. Pops out of Darius's hands. He didn't quite have a hold of it. And he is safe as again Darius and Fop Dog are trying to get their hands on the ball. Darius didn't quite have it in his hands. He had it at his fingertips. And then it just kind of pushed away.
I know. I've had that happen to me before. It's like it slips off your fingertips. It's
Just everything is just spiraling out of control
Exactly.
for Austin in this inning. All the plays.
Not
Yep, defensive
defensive
timeout.
timeout.
Defensive
Yep.
timeout. They're going to huddle up on the field. They
Yep.
need to get themselves
You gotta stop the
refocused
rally.
and
Yep,
ready
yep.
to get back in this game
Yeah.
as the Jets are leading
the
10-4.
good thing is that Austin is the home team, so they do got last bats.
They have that last chance.
They have the last chance.
But
The
they
issue-
gotta stop. They gotta stop the bleeding right now. The defense gotta step up.
And the issue is, you look at a team that scored 1 run in their last 3 plate appearances. The Jets defense that maybe has found their footing since that first inning. They have 4 runs, 3 of them in the first. Now, of course, there's a different psychological mindset when you know you're down to your last out. You might put up, even better at bats. But 10-4, going to the bottom of the 5th inning was still only 1 out, by the way, in this inning. So there's still only 1 out. Jets have put up a 4 spot in the inning alone.
Yep.
It just Austin. They may not have the offense capable to come back in this one. We will see. But they only have 6 outs to work with, and they got 6 runs to get with a very stout Zach Arambola
Yes.
and Jets defense. So
Ironically, you have the entire Jets over at their bench as they wait, except for our batter, Little Ricky, still
left
staying out at home plate.
Whoa.
He's feeling comfortable there. He's like, at home, I'm ready to do this. I'm just
He's
going to
holding
stay
his
right
back.
out there. I'll hold the fort down for y'all till you come back.
Well, little Ricky's also the one Jet so far that hasn't cracked the score sheet in this particular game, so he is trying to do that. Ricky Ruzicka joining that club with his first run in this game, so if Castaneda can score here, that would complete all 6 players with at least one run.
So, catcher and pitcher coming back out, both Simpsons. Let's see if we can get the defense all lined up and in position to be ready.
To get ready.
Ump is doing the field check, and they are ready. I'm going to check the bases. 1 is good. 3rd sounds good to go.
All right.
Kevin is at the pitcher's mound instructing little Ricky. Oh, and he was just over the top of that.
Whenever he throws it, you expect someone to hit it really hard.
I expect to hear these thumps,
Yes, absolutely.
especially with these aluminum bats. Oh, and he was just underneath that ball by about 2.5 inches.
Kevin Simpson telling him, good swing, stay there.
Pop up over toward the Jets' bench over there, so that will be foul. But at least he didn't run halfway to the base either.
Kevin definitely wanted that one. You could hear
Yes.
he wanted that one bad.
So let's not shut it down and get it going. Kevin and Kevin.
Got the sun catching for him.
Oh, Kevin had to straddle that ball as it went on the ground right in between his legs. And he is out. That is going to be 21 for the Blackhawks. I'm not sure the name. I don't have it on the number on my list.
All right.
That was, what's his name? Eric. Yeah, I don't have it.
Eric Maserati.
Oh, that's his second putout. He has a putout
That is the
earlier.
second
Or
one.
AKA E-Dog.
Yeah, he landed
another dog.
on. He's another dog.
See, right. Legendary West Coast dog.
Landed his body entirely on top of that ball, and he just had to get it out from underneath him and up in the air.
Well,
But
that's
he-
the big second out. Especially because Zach Aramble is back up at the top of the order, is going to take their turn again, this time through the 5th time through.
We're
2 for
waiting.
4.
That ball won't shut off even with the plug in it, so I'm just giving it a toss so it's away, so it doesn't mess with the plays going on. That's kind of a weak sounding ball as well.
It's funny, at first I thought that sounded nice and fresh, and then it just, there we go. We are in the top half of inning number 5. The Jets have now extended to a 10-4 lead over Austin. They scored 4 runs here in the 5th inning.
You can hear Kevin chanting in verbal. Verbal.
No,
No?
Denver ball.
Oh,
Yeah,
Denver ball.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Denver
ball. So
ball.
clearly we know which ball he prefers.
As he stands behind the pitcher's mound, he kind of tips his head up a little and goes, well, he's ready to get this done.
Asking Danny Fabiano, making sure, because he's all the way in the back there, making sure ball's okay for him to hear. He says, yep, let's go.
Zach up at bat. Oh, and he just was over the top of that by 1/4 of an inch at the most.
Zach actually hit earlier this inning. He's 2 for 4 in the game. He was actually retired on a great defensive play.
Oh, and it just twisted off the bat, flopping over here over toward the Jets bench again.
He was retired on a great defensive play by Brendan Cheshire, and then the Danny Fabiano play on David Smith that wasn't, and then everything went wrong for
Yes.
Austin.
Absolutely. It was like it could be a blow to your defense when a reverse happened. But you just gotta get past it.
And it's going to be a repeat of the same thing right over toward the Jets as a foul ball.
3 strikes.
I told you.
Very entertaining, at
Yeah.
least. Zach readjusting at home plate, swinging and twisting the bat, holding it up to the shoulder and ready to go. It's going to be a high pop-up into far right field. This is going to be this is a goner.
Might be a home
He
run.
is safe.
That was, I didn't even hear that ball anymore.
Yeah,
ball
that
was
went, it was probably inside the first base line by about 10 to 12 feet. Perfectly placed, but way past both the inside and the far fielders.
Wow.
They just gave up running. They didn't even try to go for it. They just stood there.
Reserve your energy.
They're like, we're not getting this in time.
So it only went 145 feet in the air, so kind of a weak hit. No, so not a home run, but an 11 to 4 lead for the Jets.
How far do you hit that again? oh, okay, maybe not.
No, I was just saying. It said
I know,
145. I was
that-
facetiously saying a weak hit, 25 short of the. I can maybe hit it 25 feet.
That would be. I'd be really
I-
happy if I hit it past
Yeah,
the pitcher.
I can maybe hit it 25 feet. I can maybe make up the difference and get it to the
a fair
170.
ball. All right, I'm awesome. I have David Smith up at bat.
All right, D. Smith.
11-4 now. They really need this out. If you're Austin, 3 hits already for David Smith and 4 at bats. 3 runs for Zach in 5 at bats.
High pop up about a good 80 feet in the air, dropping. Bounced back over Eric's head, and he is safe.
Yes,
Safe.
Kevin is hot now.
That
So-
came down with so much force that when it hit and it bounced, it went up the entire length of his body over his head, and then it dropped again.
If this Kevin Simpson pitches against the Thunder in both games tomorrow, the Kevin Simpson is from the 4th inning onwards because they scored 3 in the 4th and now 6 in the 5th. They have a chance to make things very interesting tomorrow.
Well, he's gonna have to bring his best.
His
Yep.
A game.
Everybody.
'Cause
And
the-
Jared and Kevin, if you make, they're gonna
Yeah.
both have to bring their A game.
Yeah, but it's,
I like to call it the duel of the boy wonder on Superman, kind of like that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, Jared. I've
Definitely
been
gonna-
knowing since he was a little kid.
Jared
Oh yes. I've been knowing him. He used to.
Oh, and a solid hit by Axel Cox, just
Might die on this
inside
one.
of center over to right, and it's going straight. And he is,
Yeah.
I believe that is Steve Purrier who has him out.
Wow.
yeah, I was gonna say that might die on that one. That was hit on the ground. It sounded like it was a really
Right.
sharp line
Yeah.
drive.
I believe that is
that.
Steve Purrier who had that one.
But a game-crushing inning for
Yeah.
the Jets.
What's
a
the fine?
6-run.
What's the score?
It is
Right now we are
12-4
12-4.
Oh
favor
my
of the
God.
Jets.
So we're going into the
Bottom 5.
bottom of the fifth.
They really need
So
to put as
they
many
need
points.
to-
Oh no, that was Mariano who had that, not Steve. That was Mariano
Okay.
who had that.
They're gonna
put
need
out.
to make as many plays as they can,
5-6-1.
many runs as they can, and at least they got 6 outs to work with.
They got 6 outs to work with. They got the 5-6 batters coming up. If the 5-6 batters can come up, do something. Then you look at a 12-6 games at the top of the order coming up.
Yeah.
But
Got a brief huddle over here by the Blackhawks, up against the third baseline.
yeah, they need to retool. That was not a fun inning defensively for them.
Ball's all over the place.
And again, there goes Axel Cox sauntering out to his position over in center.
Sauntering. That's a good description.
It kind of has this gentle little up
These are
and
the clean
down
cut
swing.
swingers?
Absolutely.
All right.
Like he's got everything put together, not a care in the world, and I'm just going to come out here and win this World Series.
Leadoff guy here in the 5th. I believe it's the 5th batter for the Jets. Or for the Blackhawks, sorry.
It's going to be Mariano
Yep.
again, who just had that put out.
Defensive put out yet. 8-run lead now for the Jets. They need 6 outs to secure their spot in the championship round tomorrow. They would have to beat the Thunder 2 times to win the championship. The Thunder would have to just win 1 more
I
game.
see. Okay.
Earlier, the Thunder beat the Jets 12-10 in a fantastic beat baseball game. Those of you who didn't get a chance to watch that, there was just great beat baseball all across the board with those 2 teams.
Umpire calling for quiet. Have our base check. Pitcher kind of getting a grip on the ball. Oh, and it's going to be a line grounder. Oh, stopped by little Ricky. Totally scooped that up, grabbed that, and out. Number 1.
And Ricky Castaneta is the one player on the Jets that has missed out offensively, trying not to let it affect his defensive game. It's his second putout that he's made First since way back in the first inning. Big first out to keep Austin off the scoreboard. And if you're in this situation for the Jets, you just don't want to give Austin any hope. Right now it's 12-4.
Yeah.
They're psychologically out of it. You want to just, you have a nice enough lead. You want to keep that team down and don't let them.
We have Darius Sterling back up at bat for the Blackhawks. Again with those bright green socks and bright orange cleats. And it just tapped it onto the ground, just barely made it to the pitcher. He's going to walk his way back, taking it easy.
We're in the last half of the 5th inning. Jets 12, Blackhawks 4.
Let's see what the Blackhawks can do here.
Flip it up to the top of the order. Brendan Cheshire has a couple of runs.
And it's another hit. It's
On
going
the
to
ground.
just to the right. But again, right to, went past Ricky, but he scooped it back up, and he is out. That is out too. Ricky with 2 in a row.
Yeah, it probably stopped it at some point. Those sharp ground balls, they eventually are going to die. It gives the fielders an opportunity, and it probably, almost bounced past him. If it had, it would have been a run. Darius is a fast guy. 2 outs.
Just barely rolled under his arms, and he just kind of turned around and grabbed it.
Ricky Castaneda making 2 plays. I would say, though, if the Jets are able to hang on and win this game, to beat the Thunder, they're going to have to get production from the bottom of their lineup that they haven't gotten necessarily at times today. They're going to have to get production 1 through 6 to beat Indiana.
Brandon Chesser at the plate. High pop up, but I believe that is going to be foul over all the way down
That's
to
what he's
first
looking
base.
for.
Yeah, that's what he needs. He needs that. He needs it in the air.
The first base judge picked that up, giving it a toss back up to the pitcher. Brandon coming back to the plate at a leisurely pace, taking a deep breath and blowing it out. I can do this. That's what he's thinking. I can do this.
I definitely appreciate the full description of the deep breath and the breath out.
Yeah, this is great. I'm just sitting here soaking this in. This is great.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
A high pop up right, but it's spinning back, and that is going to be foul.
It's 2 strikes.
Brandon with another foul. But again, he only got about a third of the way down to third base. So at least he's not completely winded. Although at this point, this late in the day, 3 games, you're going to be winded at anything. Don't think it quite was as hot as the other days, not quite being as close to 100, but it's still pretty brutal when it's been day after day.
Gosh, yes.
And still no clouds in the sky again. A hard
good
line
piece of
drive
hitting.
that goes to the ground about halfway out. Bopped off of, they're scrambling. Oh,
Yeah,
we're
they're gonna have to look
check
at that one.
It bounced off a couple people, ended up in Axel's hands, but the first person it bounced off of, I believe, was Ricky Ruzica, and then it went to, I think that is David out there, and then ended up in Axel's hand, but I'm not sure what the timing on safer, as we have the umpires conferring up by the first base area.
So Axel Cox made the stop on this.
The final stop. They all slowed it down a little, contributing, and they're going to call him safe.
Oh, wow.
So that does at least get them another point on the board,
Yes,
moves them
they
up
need
to
it
fight.
badly.
It's going to help them mentally, kind of get them pumped to go, we can do it too.
Yes.
And if there's one offensive bright spot, the Brendan Cheshire has gone 3 for 4, so he has 3 of the 5 runs for Austin. So he's been the guy in this game.
They did
Yes.
count that safe. Next up at the plate, we have Findog.
Yep. There you go.
He's got the bat up on his shoulder. Preps for this swing with his hands back. Oh, and a near miss as he slides right over the top of that ball by about 2.5 inches. It's a solid hit, but it's going to be foul again over by the Jets bench
Needs to keep that.
again. Seems to be a kind of a magnet for foul balls right over there. Both benches, actually.
2 strikes to count. 12-5, 2 outs, bottom 5. This is the 3rd place game. The winner of this game is guaranteed no worse than 2nd.
Again, another hard hit, but it's going right to Zach. And we know what happens when it's on the ground in left field. There was not, he didn't even break a sweat for that. Dropped to the ground, felt around when it hit his lower legs, grabbed it. You're out.
All right.
So only a run for the Austin Blackhawks. They needed
it's
a little more than that.
12-4 now, right?
12-5.
12-5.
They did get that one run by
Brandon
Brandon
Cheshire. It was
Cheshire.
Brandon Cheshire, his third run
Superman.
of the game.
All right. Yep. Captain Beatball.
We'll go to the top of the sixth.
Captain Beatball.
The Jets have been relatively consistent today. They played it a couple in the first, one in the second, 3 in the fourth, and 6 in the fifth. So they've only, third inning is the only inning that they haven't scored any runs. The Blackhawks, really, the first inning was their big one. They scored 3 of their 5 runs in that first inning, and it was looking real good for them. But ever since then, it's been kind of a struggle. They scored 1 in the fourth, and they scored 1 in the fifth, both by Brendan Cheshire. So unless your name is Brendan Cheshire, you haven't had someone score a run for Austin since the first inning.
Yeah, they definitely got to. They got to get it going here.
Gonna have Aaron up at the plate next for the Jets.
The defense have to hold up here.
Absolutely.
This is just as big as the last inning.
12-5 lead, and
Absolutely.
Aaron has scored 2 runs for his team in this game. He scored, if you remember the last inning, it was one of the 6 runs, the one where the defender had it bounce off of his arm, and Aaron was able to beat that out. One of the very tough luck runs that the Blackhawks gave up last inning.
Kind of wonder, since Aaron does not have green hair, if he argued with him that since he had green shoes, he didn't have to color the top half.
This is it. This is inning number 6 of the third place
Yep,
game.
there we go. They last at bat.
Ready for pitch? It's a hard pop up, but it's coming right back to the catcher. It was probably about 12 feet in the air. Next pitch. Almost a
Foul. He's
repeat,
on it.
only
He's
about
on
8
it.
feet, but he's just not getting it quite centered, but he's definitely making plenty of contact.
Yep, 2
These are-
strikes, 2 contacts.
Not light tips, these are solid. Oh, this one's going to run down the third base line, but it is foul. Started going out foul, probably about 15 feet down the line.
And Kevin knew it. As soon as it was hit, he grunted. He knew that it was either going to be an out or a foul or something not positive for his team.
Aaron running on a curving base as soon as he heard foul, and he kind of curved right over to the Blackhawks bench line. Good job, double A.
Double A battery.
Kevin blaming himself for that one, that last pitch.
Double A anymore is about the most commonly used battery.
It is.
It was definitely my favorite battery because it went in all the things. It went in all the Walkmen and all the...
Oh, and he slid right underneath that.
Yeah, Blackhawks pretty excited about that. They got an out,
All
free
right,
of charge.
2 more.
And this is their chance. The 2 rookies are up, and they're good hitters, but... You know, Zach Arambula has 3 runs scored. David Smith has 4 runs scored. Like, you know, Axel has a couple. Aaron has a couple.
Yeah.
This is the part of their order where if you are, with all due respect, if you are the Blackhawks defense, you're like, if we're going to get any part of this order out, it's going to be this part of the order.
Yeah.
So this is Ricky up at bat with his slightly squatting stance before he swings. Oh, and that ball was just a little outside.
But Ruzic did score in the last inning.
Oh, and a swing that was just underneath the bat. Just resting and relaxing.
Taking a cheer for
It's a
every.
very interesting cheer there.
All those Blackhawks, you gotta love them.
Tell you what, it's an accomplishment for them to possibly even finish third, especially the way their tournament started. Losing to Chicago in the seeding play, losing to the Jets 20-1 yesterday.
What were they predicted at the beginning of the Blackhawks?
They were seeded. They
coming
were
in?
predicted 4th, and that was going to
Do
be
you know,
a
Clark?
I believe 4.
yeah. They
Okay,
were
they were
predicted
predicted
4th.
fourth.
They were
Okay.
predicted 4th, and it was a major controversial thing because
Oh, it's going to be a hard tick that rolls back over to the scorer's table.
To us.
The Titans genuinely felt like
They're
they should
out
be.
for you again,
Four,
Matt.
yeah.
Yeah, right. The Titans genuinely felt as though they should have been fourth, and today they played for it. And Austin proved that they were the fourth best team. I know that.
And it's going to be
Foul.
another tip-off that rolls back to the
Wow.
scorer's table.
Kevin is on it.
Yes, he is.
It's coming out. From the defense, be ready.
Yeah, I can handle that.
Yep, Kevin can handle something. He can definitely handle pitching. We've seen evidence of that.
He's got a train or tractor, something going around behind us.
That's a
Oh, it
strikeout.
was right over the top of that. So we'll be out with little Ricky coming up.
All right. AKA Little Meat.
It is interesting when you think about it. Like when you're hot, you're hot. When you're not,
And
you're not.
that's what happens. That's what happens.
Kevin
you know?
Zibson in that fifth inning couldn't miss a bat, and now
Right.
all of a sudden this inning it's back-to-back strikeouts. But
Right. Exactly.
here's the thing: when you're up 12-5 and you're feeling pretty good about yourself, that's not okay ever, but it's a little more acceptable.
You have a little
can't
cushion,
have-
but you never want to be
on
comfortable.
This field.
Yes.
Very defensive field.
Yes, but
As you see, it's been a lot of low-scoring games.
giving up strikeouts tomorrow against the Indy Thunder is going to be a real tough thing to
Tip
do.
off to
Yes.
the catcher.
And they will have to beat the Thunder twice.
Twice.
Yes.
So these strikeouts, giving away free outs when Eric Rodriguez makes enough outs on his own.
Sliding just underneath of that swing by about a half an inch.
2 outs.
And Kevin kind of shaking his head like, I'm not sure out there at the pitcher's mound. Oh,
There
and
it
a
is.
bouncing grounder at center. Let's see, it went right past Eric. Oh, it rolled right past the next one. And he is safe. Little Ricky has got his number up on the board.
Yes, he
It
does.
makes for 13-5, so I'm sure he is happy to have his point now.
Yes, he has to be. With 2 outs in the 6th inning, he was the only Jet that hadn't got into the score sheet, and
Now
that's
he just did it.
all the Jets.
All 6 Jets have scored. That's phenomenal.
Yep.
That's what you want.
Yes, it is what you want, and here's a guy that scored 3 of them, Zach Arambula. He's made the putouts today when he's had to. He was the player of the game that we agreed on, Rosina, John Margist, and myself in the game against
Earlier.
against despite the 12-10 loss. We agreed that he was the best player on the field, certainly defensively.
Yes.
Corey White going 5 for 5 in that game for the Thunder really made the
Yes.
difference.
And ready for that pitch. Oh, a hard swing. You could hear it whistling as it went across that ball.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be very interesting. The Thunder and the Jets.
Versus. Oh, and it's going to be a little grounder over into left going over to Darius. Darius just has to move up forward to grab it. And he is
He
out.
got him.
He almost didn't have it, but he did get him out. That was Darius Sterling with the putout.
So 3 for 6 for Zach Arambula, and only 1 run in the inning. But we will now go to the bottom of the 6th inning.
All
It's
right.
the San Antonio Jets 13 and the Austin Blackhawks 5.
They have a lot of ground to cover to
Yes,
make up, to
and 3
recover from
outs.
this. But it is
But it's
possible.
possible, and it has been done.
We saw
And-
before where the Jets have been held and stagnant and did not have as good a defense at the beginning of this game as we've seen normally from them. So it just really depends on how that defense is going to be playing out.
Yeah, I think scoring 9 runs is something in the bottom of the 6th inning, or even 8 runs just to tie, is probably a task that may be a little bit too tall, considering even the Thunder, the biggest inning that we saw the Thunder hang on this team was a 5-run inning in the 2nd inning. But
yes.
there's also a different psychological. If you score 1 run, maybe your next guy's like, I can score this run. Maybe it becomes less about the Jets defense, like Kalari's been alluding to. If that pitcher just gets hot,
Right.
starts finding his bat. So that's to see. But it's that first. Yep, I was saying that first hitter is critical, but I guess with 2 outs it could even happen. But
Yes,
know.
it can.
Kalari, what would you say before we get ready to hit? What would you say the craziest comeback you were involved in?
Craziest comeback. Top of the 6th in Colorado. I believe it was 2010 or 9. Anyway, the Comets was down by 6 runs going into our last.
It's going to be
Little
popping
chop.
grounder. The pitcher had to move his foot, and it's going right down center.
Oh,
Yep.
He's going to be out. I believe that is little Ricky again, who hustled right over there, over to the center.
Yep.
And that ball was almost right on that center orange line, like a magnet on a line.
He's starting to make those plays short. He made a couple plays last inning there.
Yep.
He made a play this inning. Good to get his confidence up because you're going to need all your players to be at their best to beat the Thunder, not just once, but 2 times tomorrow. And
Well,
not that
looks
this
like
game's
we
over yet.
did have a sub coming in. We have Greg Roberts coming up to bat for the Blackhawks. Greg for his first time at bat in this game. Ump again calling for quiet. I know everybody's tired, getting a little carried away by this late in the day and week, but we do still have a game going. And just underneath that, the ball was about 2 inches under.
what?
Bench getting admonished a little bit. One strike, one out.
A swing comes up, and he's just underneath that ball.
So he's down to his last 2 strikes. There's only one out in the inning. Bottom of the 6th. This is the second third place game. Second/third place game.
Oh, and he was just under that, but only about a half an inch off that time. He is so close, he can taste it. Tapping home plate.
He's got one chance to do it.
Oh, and right over across the top of that, just a quarter inch.
And that'll be it.
What?
Oh, I thought that was strike 4.
Pass ball. He took a pass ball.
He must have tipped one somewhere along the way. I
Must have been a tip.
4 strikes.
Oh, and he's going to drive it right over. Oh, and bounces off of Zach. Reaches over, he's got it, and he is out.
Yeah.
It bounced off the bottom half of his legs over to past his body. He had to flip over.
And again, I've been pretty passionate about this. The one thing in beat baseball that I have been opinionated on, again, another piece of 3-strike hitting. I know they're considering moving it to 3 strikes, 4 strikes, potentially 3 strikes. How many times have we seen a batter on that
Gets it on that
3-strike
4th
pitch?
one.
Yeah. If you take it to a 4th strike, or if you take that 4th strike away, you're going to see a lot more strikeouts.
Yeah, but teams will adjust to it. I mean, I like the 3-strike one ball. I like it.
So you think they should change too?
Yes.
Mariano with a pop hit over past Zach. It's sliding up, and that looks like Axel Cox has an
That's
easy
it.
out back up there.
All right, that's the game.
That
That's going
is
to be
the
the
ball
game.
game.
13-5, favor of the Jets. So
All
it looks
right,
like
so
we
tomorrow it's going to be a repeat.
of Jets and the Thunder.
Yes, and the Jets got to take down the Thunder twice.
Yep. So the Austin Blackhawks will finish the World Series in third place. Great World Series for them. They beat the Titans to get there. They beat the Indy Edge to get there today. 2 fantastic beat baseball teams, but ultimately the Jets were just a little bit too much for them down the stretch. The game was 3-3 after the 3rd inning, but the second half of the game was really all Jets all the time, and they were able to take this one home.
So as they're out there congratulating each other across the team, do you guys have any favorite plays of the game instead of like favorite players, but just a favorite play? Instead of offense and defense, just a favorite play.
Well, David Smith's hit, one of his, what was it, second hit?
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
So it went
crush.
flying out there.
Yes.
I would actually go the David Smith 3rd hit that I would say the key play of the game is a 7-4 game, a 6-4, I'm sorry, with still 2 outs in the 5th inning. David Smith hits a ball that's picked up, looks like it's going to be a sure out, and it's not called, and it's just overturned, and that run
Yes.
Could
needs to
have
snowball.
been a deciding factor
And that,
for that
I think,
game.
was the turning point for
The downfall of the
downfall,
Blackhawks
yes.
there. Yes. Very discouraging.
It's very
Hard to overcome
discouraging to
that.
have a
Something-
call reversed on you.
Yes.
I've been in that situation on both sides, when it was good or in bad.